Welcome back to the channel, where we reveal the hidden value inside ordinary-looking coins. In today's video, we're exploring the 6 most valuable and ultra-rare Lincoln pennies in U.S. history. These coins may look small, but their price tags are massive, with some selling for shocking amounts at auction. One of these rare Lincoln cents could still be out there waiting to be found. Let's get started. First up, we're talking about one of the most mysterious and highly desirable coins from American numismatic history. The ultra-rare 1964 Lincoln penny with the Denver D mint mark. Though millions were minted, there exists a tiny fraction of coins from this year that carry extraordinary value due to their rarity, condition, production anomalies, and historical significance. Stay with me till the end, because this coin might just be hiding in your change jar or an old family drawer, and you wouldn't even know it. The 1964 D Lincoln cent comes from the Denver Mint and belongs to the early Memorial Reverse series, replacing the classic wheat-back design just 5 years earlier. At first glance, this coin appears common. Over 3.7 billion were minted, but collectors know that raw mintage numbers never tell the full story. The 1964 D stands out because it was produced during a turbulent period in U.S. minting history. The nation was facing a coin shortage due to rising demand in commerce, so the mint ramped up production using older dies and rush-striking methods. As a result, subtle variations and rare minting errors emerged, making certain 1964 D pennies extraordinarily valuable today. While most examples are worth just face value, select ultra-rare pieces have sold for thousands of dollars. Looking closely at its design reveals why collectors appreciate this coin beyond its rarity. The obverse features President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to mark the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1964 D version still carries his initials, VDB, under Lincoln's shoulder, though discreetly. The inscriptions "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the mint year 1964 are present. On the reverse, the memorial design created by Frank Gasparo stands boldly, with the Lincoln Memorial at the center and the tiny seated statue of Lincoln visible inside if inspected under magnification. The inscriptions, United States of America, 1 cent, and EPLURIBUS UNUM, frame the monument. Coins from 1964 frequently show weak strikes and die wear, making sharply struck examples more desirable and uncommon. Despite massive production, this coin becomes rare when judged by condition and minting anomalies. The majority of 1964 D cents circulated heavily, and most surviving pieces show scratches, wear, discoloration, and dirt from decades of use. Finding one in very dirty condition is not unusual, but finding a dirty coin that hides a rare error beneath the surface can be life-changing. Some of the most valuable varieties include double die obverse DDO, double die reverse DDR, off-center strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, and repunched mint marks RPM. Coins with full original details, no damage, sharp rims, and strong luster are extremely hard to locate, especially in mint state grades. Collector demand for the 1964 D Lincoln cent continues to grow because it represents the intersection of history, affordability, and the thrill of the hunt. Unlike rare gold coins or silver dollars, Lincoln cents are accessible to everyone, which fuels massive interest. The 1964 D stands out in the series because of its role during a national coin crisis and its connection to suspiciously mysterious special mint strike coins from 1964 that surfaced decades later. Some experts believe a tiny number of prototype or SMS test strikes may have come from Denver, though none have been officially confirmed, adding intrigue and speculation. Now let's talk value, because that is what most collectors want to know. In circulated dirty condition, a normal 1964 D penny is worth 1 to 10 cents. However, rare varieties tell a different story. A 1964 D double die obverse can sell from $150 to $500 depending on clarity and grade. A dramatic off-center strike can bring $200 to $800, while a repunched D mint mark, RPM, commands $75 to $350. A clipped planchet can reach $100 to $400. But the most valuable examples are those graded mint state, MS-65 or higher, or coins with major dramatic errors certified by NGC or PCGS. These examples can sell for $2,000 to as high as $12,000 or more in today's market, especially at auction where serious collectors compete. For anyone searching for this coin, there are a few collecting tips to increase your chances. First, use a 10x magnifying loupe to inspect details such as doubling on letters, extra impressions on the mint mark, or visible die cracks. Focus on coins with clean surfaces, minimal damage, and strong strike details. Pay close attention to the word Liberty and the date 1964, since most doubling occurs in these areas. Always check the edges for planchet flaws and rim errors. When possible, submit potential high value fines to PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. The 1964 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a common copper coin can become an ultra-rare collector's item worth serious money. Its history, minting context, and rare varieties make it one of the most exciting modern Lincoln cents to search for. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a beginner hopping to find your first valuable coin, this penny deserves a place on your radar. Do not underestimate it just because it looks worn or dirty. Sometimes the rarest coins hide behind the most ordinary appearance. And secondly, we're deep dive into the world of incredibly rare and valuable United States coinage. A common-looking Lincoln cent from 1963 without a mint mark. That holds a secret, making it one of the most sought-after and expensive pennies a collector can own. Our subject is the 1963 Lincoln penny missing its mint mark, a coin that on the surface appears utterly ordinary but is in fact a monumental rarity. What makes this coin so collectible is not its date, but a striking error of omission. All pennies minted in Philadelphia this year were supposed to have no mint mark, while those from Denver bore a small D. However, a very limited number of coins were struck on bronze planchets intended for the Denver Mint, but were struck with Philadelphia dies, resulting in a 1963 coin with no mint mark on a D-mint planchet. This creates a hybrid or mule of extraordinary significance, a true ghost of the minting process that stands as a pinnacle of error collecting for the Lincoln series. To understand the context of 1963, we must look at the final years of the wheat reverse cent. This was the last year before the switch to the Frank Gasparro-designed memorial reverse in 1964. The country was in a state of transition, still reeling from the Cuban Missile Crisis the previous fall, and with the shadow of President Kennedy's assassination looming later in the year. At the Mint, production was a massive undertaking, with the Philadelphia and Denver facilities churning out hundreds of millions of coins to meet circulation demands. It was within this high-volume, high-pressure environment that the mistake occurred, a fleeting moment where the wrong blank was fed into a press fitted with the wrong dies, creating a handful of coins that would slip out undetected. The design itself is the familiar Victor David Brenner motif that had been in use since 1909. The obverse features the profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1963 to the right. The reverse is the classic wheat ear design, with the words "United States of America" and 1 cent framing 2 stylized wheat stalks. The unique feature, or lack thereof, is the complete absence of a mint mark below the date on the obverse. To the untrained eye, it is indistinguishable from a common Philadelphia issue, but its identity is tied to the specific metal composition and origin of its planchet, a story written not in its design but in its very metal. The rarity of this particular 1963 no mint mark variety cannot be overstated. It is not merely scarce, it is phenomenally rare, with only a handful of confirmed examples known to exist. Survival in any condition is a minor miracle, and the coin we are discussing today is noted as being in a very dirty and heavily circulated state. For a coin of such immense numismatic importance, its condition tells a story of a long life in circulation, passed from hand to hand for years before its true identity was recognized. The fact that such a valuable coin could survive for decades in this state, completely anonymous, only adds to its legendary status among error enthusiasts. When it comes to collector demand, this 1963 penny stands entirely apart from the rest of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. While collectors seek out key dates like the 1909 SVDB or the 1914 D for their low mintages, this coin is pursued for its unique minting era. It represents a fascinating chapter in minting history, a tangible flaw in a system designed for perfection. Its appeal cuts across specializations, drawing in not only Lincoln Cent specialists but also error and variety collectors, and those who seek out the ultimate rarities, making its demand profile incredibly robust and competitive whenever an example appears on the market. Now let's talk about the number everyone wants to know, its current market value in today's dollars. Given its extreme rarity, public sales are infrequent, and prices are subject to fierce bidding wars. For a confirmed example in a problem-free but very dirty and heavily worn condition, similar to the one that serves as our model today, the market value is astronomical for a 1-cent piece. In today's market, a legitimate example in such a low grade would easily command a price between $80,000 and $120,000, with higher graded specimens, if they were to appear, fetching significantly more. This is not a coin you will find in a jar of old pennies. It is a six-figure numismatic treasure. For those of you inspired to look for this coin, the hunt is the stuff of legend. First and foremost, authentication is absolutely non-negotiable. Any 1963 penny without a mint mark must be submitted to a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC for verification, as its status is tied to its planchet origin, not just a missing letter. Given that the known examples are in circulated condition, focusing on brilliant uncirculated coins is not the strategy. Instead, you must carefully examine every single 1963 penny you find, no matter how worn or dirty. Check coin shops, old collections, and estate lots, but always with the understanding that you are looking for a ghost, a coin so rare that finding one would be the discovery of a lifetime. The 1963 no mint mark Lincoln penny on a D-mint planchet represents the absolute peak of error coin collecting within this iconic series. Its immense value is a direct reflection of its profound rarity, a minting mistake that should never have left the facility but now stands as a trophy asset for any collection. It embodies a perfect storm of historical context, minting fallibility, and survivor's luck, making it a coin that appeals with equal force to the new collector dreaming of a monumental find, and the seasoned veteran seeking to add one of the ultimate rarities to their cabinet. And speaking of ultimate rarities, wait until you see what we have for you in our next video. We will be traveling back to the 19th century to examine a legendary silver dollar, a coin so elusive and storied that it defined an entire era of American numismatics, a coin that every collector has heard of but few will ever see. You will not want to miss it. And thirdly, we're going to explore the most valuable and ultra-rare, the 1968 Lincoln penny with the Denver D mint mark. May look like an ordinary copper cent at first glance, especially when found in dirty and worn condition. But hidden among this year's Denver mint production are a few ultra-rare varieties and high-grade examples that have captivated collectors and sparked serious attention in today's coin market. While millions of these coins were released into circulation, a surprisingly small number possess special characteristics that elevate them to true collectible status. Whether it's a dramatic minting error, an ultra-sharp strike, or a well-preserved example certified by a top grading company. The 1968 D. Lincoln penny continues to attract strong demand from numismatists who value history, scarcity, and investment potential. Historically, the 1968 D penny is significant because it comes from an important transition period in American coinage. After a 3-year pause in mint marks from 1965 to 1967, the United States Mint reintroduced mint marks in 1968, making this year a memorable one for collectors. These coins were struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse. During this time, the mint was ramping up coin production to meet increasing demand across the country, yet despite the massive mintage, only a fraction survived with strong eye appeal or collectible features, giving this coin true historical relevance. The 1968 D. Lincoln penny retains the timeless wheat-cent successor design introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse features the classic profile portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, paired with the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, along with the date and D mint mark. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial, with the name United States of America, the motto EPLURIBUSUNUM, and the denomination 1 cent. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the coin weighs 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Despite its simple appearance, sharp examples of this coin show excellent strike detail, especially in Lincoln's hair and the columns of the memorial. The rarity of valuable 1968 D pennies comes not from low production, but from exceptional condition and rare minting errors that slipped past inspection. Coins with strong mint luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp strike details are difficult to find today, especially since most 1968 D pennies were heavily circulated. Rare error types from this year include double die obverse (DDO) varieties, repunched mint marks (RPM), struck through errors, and off-center strikes. These varieties are not only scarce but also extremely desirable among error collectors, making them worth far more than face value. Uncirculated examples graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC are considered premium finds. When it comes to market value, most circulated 1968 D pennies are worth between 5 and 50 cents, depending on condition, but rare error varieties and superb high-grade examples are where serious money comes into play. A certified MS66 red RD example can reach $400 to $700, while MS67 RD coins have sold between $1,200 and $3,500 at auction. Highly desirable double die or RPM varieties have been known to reach $1,000 to $8,000 depending on rarity and eye appeal. Dirty or worn examples may still hold strong value if they have a significant error or variety, making it worth examining every 1968 D penny closely before dismissing it as pocket change. Collectors interested in acquiring a valuable 1968 D penny should prioritize eye appeal, strong strike, and certification. Since condition dramatically affects value, it is wise to focus on coins graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. When searching rolls or coin lots, pay close attention to the mint mark and date area for signs of doubling or repunching. Always store valuable finds in protective holders to prevent corrosion and further wear, especially since copper coins are prone to discoloration and damage if left unprotected. Using tools such as a jeweler's loupe and LED magnifier can help spot hidden errors that might go unnoticed by the casual eye. The appeal of the 1968 D. Lincoln penny goes beyond simple monetary value. It represents an era of American history, an important milestone in modern coinage, and a rewarding challenge for collectors who enjoy searching for overlooked treasures. Whether found in a dirty original state or preserved in mint freshness, This coin holds a strong presence in the world of numismatics. Its connection to the Lincoln series, one of the most beloved in U.S. history, ensures continuing interest for generations to come. Every collector knows the satisfaction of discovering a rare variety in an ordinary pile of pennies, and the 1968D offers exactly that opportunity. Many collectors also appreciate the 1968D Lincoln penny for its role in advancing the error coin market, which has grown significantly in recent decades. As more collectors begin to recognize the financial and historical appeal of minting anomalies, error coins like the 1968D double die obverse and repunched mint mark varieties have become centerpieces in serious collections. Auction records show a steady upward trend in prices for certified varieties from this year, proving that demand for these coins is not only strong but still growing. Even coins found in dirty or circulated condition can reveal surprising value once properly identified and authenticated, especially if they feature a dramatic striking error or a scarce die variety. This encourages more people to inspect their change closely and search through penny rolls with purpose, adding excitement to the hobby. Ultimately, the 1968D Lincoln penny stands as a reminder that not every rare and valuable coin is old or made of precious metal. Some of the most profitable discoveries in the coin world come from modern series, and this penny is a perfect example. It challenges collectors to look deeper, study varieties, learn grading standards, and sharpen their eye for detail. The 1968D Lincoln penny is a fascinating blend of history, artistry, and rarity, capable of surprising even the most experienced collectors. While it may often appear in circulation as a worn and dirty everyday coin, the truth is that rare and valuable examples exist and are actively sought after. Its place in numismatic history, along with its potential for hidden high-value varieties, solidifies its status as a prized collectible and smart investment piece. Anyone serious about coin collecting should not overlook the 1968D Lincoln penny, because within this humble cent lies the very essence of what makes coin collecting so rewarding: the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of finding something extraordinary. And fourthly, we're talking about the 1966 Lincoln penny. Without a mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after pieces in the entire realm of American numismatics, captivating enthusiasts with its unique story and exceptional rarity. This particular coin represents a dramatic anomaly in the long-running Lincoln cent series, making it a prized treasure for advanced collectors who seek the most challenging and significant issues. Its appeal lies not in pristine beauty, but in its historical peculiarity and the sheer difficulty of locating a genuine example, driving intense market demand among those who appreciate coins with a compelling narrative. Owning this penny is considered a pinnacle achievement, a testament to a collector's dedication and understanding of the nuances that make numismatics so endlessly engaging. The historical context of the 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is deeply intertwined with the great coin shortage of the mid-1960s. Rising silver prices and a booming economy led to the hoarding of coins, creating a critical shortage of circulating currency. In response, the United States Mint took the unprecedented step of suspending the production of proof sets, and for the 1965 and 1966 coinage years, ceasing the practice of placing mint marks on all coins, including those from the Denver and San Francisco mints. This was intended to discourage collectors from hoarding coins from specific mints and to help alleviate the shortage. Therefore, every 1966 cent was supposed to be minted without a mint mark, making the search for one with a mark the true challenge, while the no-mint mark coin is the standard issue. This coin features the iconic designs that had graced the Lincoln cent for decades. The obverse showcases the beloved portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, a solemn and dignified profile that has become a symbol of American coinage. The reverse presents the enduring memorial design by Frank Gasparro, introduced in 1959, which features a detailed depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, including the tiny statue of the seated president within. Struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the coin possesses the substantial weight and rich, reddish hue characteristic of the era, though this is often obscured by heavy wear and environmental damage. Its visual appeal in a high-grade state is classic, but in the context of this inquiry, its identity is defined by its circulated and very dirty condition. When discussing rarity, it is crucial to clarify that the standard 1966 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is exceptionally common, with a mintage of over 2 billion coins. Its rarity and value are not inherent to the date itself, but are entirely dependent on the discovery of a dramatic error or variety. For a 1966 cent to be considered ultra-rare and valuable, it must possess an extraordinary attribute, such as being struck on a silver dime planchet, being a double die, or exhibiting a significant off-center strike. Finding such an error coin, especially one that can be authenticated, is the true numismatic challenge. The very dirty condition described further complicates this, as authentication and attribution of any potential error require expert examination, and heavy contamination can severely impact both value and collectability. The market value for a standard 1966 Lincoln penny in very dirty condition is purely nominal, essentially its 1 cent face value, as it is a common circulating coin. However, should a genuine and significant error coin from 1966, such as one struck on the wrong planchet, be discovered and professionally certified by a service like PCGS or NGC, its value could indeed reach the impressive range of $1,000 to $8,000 or even higher, entirely dependent on the specific error and its state of preservation. A very dirty specimen would likely fall toward the lower end of any such valuation scale, as condition is a primary driver of price. The value is propelled not by the date but by the spectacular nature of the mint error, its historical context from a tumultuous period at the mint, and its immense appeal as a conversation piece. For collectors pursuing this elusive coin, a methodical and knowledgeable approach is absolutely essential. Given that a standard 1966 cent is worthless in worn condition, the focus must be on error identification. It is paramount to carefully inspect any 1966 cent for unusual weight, thickness, color, or a missing design element that might indicate it was struck on a foreign planchet. Any suspected error must be submitted to a major grading service for authentication and encapsulation. Raw, unattributed error coins are met with extreme skepticism in the market. Purchases should only be made from reputable dealers or major auction houses with a guaranteed return policy, and engaging with specialized error coin forums and communities can provide invaluable insights. The allure of the 1966 Lincoln cent, particularly in the context of a rare error, is powerfully magnified by its origin during a definitive period of American numismatic history. This was not an error born from the careful and controlled production of proof coins or special collector issues, but rather an accidental masterpiece that slipped through the cracks during a time of frantic mass production aimed at solving a national crisis. This provenance adds a layer of historical gravity that a simple mint error from a calmer period could never possess, making it a tangible relic of a moment when the U.S. Mint's standard operating procedures were abandoned out of necessity. This connection to a story of economic pressure and governmental response elevates the coin from a mere curiosity to a significant historical document, one that speaks volumes about the era in which it was created. Ultimately, the journey of seeking out such a rare 1966 specimen, even in a very dirty state, is a pursuit that separates the casual collector from the dedicated numismatist. It requires a deep understanding of minting processes, a keen eye for minute details often obscured by circulation, and the patience to sift through countless ordinary coins. While a typical 1966 Lincoln cent is one of the most common coins in existence, the dream of discovering a legitimate, high-value error from that year continues to fuel the examination of countless pennies. It represents a thrilling potential blend of historical accident and numismatic rarity, a tangible, if unlikely, connection to a period of minting irregularity. The pursuit of such a coin, while requiring immense patience and a sharp eye, embodies the very spirit of coin collecting, the hope of finding a hidden treasure among the ordinary. For the astute collector, the knowledge required to identify such a prize is itself a reward, making any potential discovery a legendary addition to a collection and a story to be cherished for a lifetime. And at the end, we're exploring the most valuable and expensive United States, the 1973 Lincoln penny with the Denver D mint mark. May look like an ordinary copper coin that has been in circulation for decades, but hidden among millions of mint strikes is an ultra-rare variety that has shocked collectors and auction houses alike. This 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint is now valued between $1,000 and over $9,000 in very fine condition, especially when it features specific rare die varieties, errors, and strong uncleaned surfaces even in dirty condition. Introduced as part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909, the 1973 D is especially significant for being part of the United States' modern decimal coinage history. While the decimal system in U.S. currency dates to 1792, Lincoln cents continued that legacy into modern times, marking a bridge between historic coinage and contemporary mint production. The 1973 D Lincoln penny carries the familiar design by Victor David Brenner featuring the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, along with the inscriptions Liberty, the date 1973, and the small D mint mark below the year. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the iconic EPLURIBUSUNUM above the memorial. Struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc, this coin weighs 3.11 grams, making it one of the last generation of true copper cents before the switch to copper-plated zinc coins in 1982 due to rising metal costs. Because copper coins naturally tone and corrode over time, many surviving examples today appear in dirty or aged condition, which ironically adds appeal to collectors who appreciate originality and authenticity in vintage U.S. coinage. While over 3.5 billion 1973 D pennies were minted, only a small number are considered ultra-rare today. The key lies not in the year alone, but in specific rare varieties such as double-die errors, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks RPMs, and sharp early die-state coins. These hidden anomalies significantly raise market value. Collectors compete fiercely for well-preserved examples that show full detail in Lincoln's hair and beard, strong rims, and crisp lettering. Cleaned coins lose value, so surprisingly, a very dirty but original uncleaned condition coin may be worth more than a shiny cleaned one. When certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, high-grade examples can push past $9,000 due to rarity and collector demand. In the current coin market, the 1973 D Lincoln penny holds strong momentum. Standard circulated coins are only worth face value, but rare varieties in fine to extra fine condition start around $50 to $200. Scarcer double-die, obverse examples or RPM errors can fetch $1,000 to $3,500, and those certified in mint state 65 or above regularly sell for $5,000 to $9,000 or more depending on eye appeal and auction competition. Heritage auctions and eBay listings show rising prices as more collectors enter the copper coin market, especially those who prefer early 1970s Lincoln cents. With inflation driving renewed interest in precious metal coins, copper coins have also begun to gain investment interest, giving coins like the 1973 D rare varieties increasing long-term value. This coin's growing popularity stems from more than just rarity. The Lincoln series is one of the most collected in the world, making every rare year or mint mark highly competitive. The 1973 D stands out because it represents a transition period in U.S. coin minting, just before major copper composition changes. Collectors appreciate coins tied to historical eras, and investors view scarce Lincoln cents as accessible entry points into numismatic investing. In addition, many collectors seek raw coins straight from circulation finds or inherited change jars, meaning a dirty yet high-detail coin can be a treasure waiting to be cleaned professionally, or better yet, left untouched and graded for originality. Condition, certification, and communities. Anyone hoping to identify or profit from a 1973 D ultra-rare penny should follow a few essential steps. First, examine the coin's condition carefully using a magnifying glass to check for doubling, repunched mint marks, or minting errors. Second, avoid cleaning the coin because this destroys numismatic value. Third, consider professional grading from PCGS or NGC to authenticate condition and increase resale value. Fourth, compare coins using standard grading references from the American Numismatic Association, ANA. Finally, join active coin collecting communities such as CoinTalk, Reddit rcoins, or Facebook groups to get advice, market updates, and trusted appraisal opinions. Knowledge and networking are key in modern numismatics. Though it is a U.S. coin, the 1973 D Lincoln penny has also gained traction among international coin collectors, including those in Australia, where American coin collecting has become a rising hobby. Australian numismatists respect historic copper coins because their own early pre-decimal coinage featured similar metal content and character. The 1973 D penny now appears at Australian coin shows and auctions, proving its growing global appeal. Its survival in dirty but well-detailed condition reflects not just American history, but a shared global interest in preserving vintage coins that tell the story of everyday economic life from past generations. Beyond its financial appeal, the 1973 D Lincoln penny plays an important role in numismatic education and historical research. Coin experts frequently use this specific date and mint mark as a teaching tool to demonstrate how minting technology, die wear, and production pressure can influence the appearance and rarity of a coin. Because over 3 billion coins were struck at the Denver Mint that year, die maintenance was inconsistent, which led to more striking anomalies and collectible imperfections, the very features collectors hunt for today. Numismatic researchers also study these pennies to better understand the transition period in the early 1970s, when the U.S. Mint began exploring cost-saving methods due to rising copper prices. This helps explain why original copper examples like the 1973 D are now considered an important part of American monetary history, especially as they marked the beginning of economic discussions that later led to the 1982 metal composition change from copper to zinc. As a result, the 1973 D penny is more than a collectible. It is a case study that bridges minting history, metallurgy, and coin preservation techniques. Looking ahead, coin experts predict that the value of rare 1973 D Lincoln pennies will continue to appreciate as fewer high-quality, original examples remain available. Many coins from this era were heavily circulated, damaged, or destroyed due to metal recycling campaigns, which means surviving pieces, especially those with scarce errors, will naturally become harder to find over time. This consistent reduction in supply strengthens long-term market value, making the 1973 D a strong entry-level investment coin for serious collectors. Its legacy continues to grow across American and international markets because it represents something larger than a simple 1-cent piece. It reflects history preserved in metal. The 1973 D Lincoln penny is more than a small copper coin. It represents the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln, the American working-class spirit, and the evolution of U.S. coinage during the 20th century. In very dirty but original condition, it carries the weight of time and authenticity that collectors appreciate. With rising global interest, limited surviving high-grade examples, and strong auction demand, this coin has significant long-term investment potential. Whether you collect for history, rarity, or profit, the 1973 D. Lincoln penny holds a unique place in numismatic culture, proving that even a single cent can carry a story worth thousands of dollars.